Who's that? Who do we got over there?
Who we got over there? Where'd Mike go?
I'm right
Oh,
here.
good. Mike's finally gone.
At last,
We have
I
a
will.
new guest.
At
Maul.
last, I shall
We're
reveal
gonna-
myself.
We're going to talk to Maul about utter failure this week. Hello, everybody. We are the Jedi Archives. We're doing the Maul After Show from DCN. If you're new to the show, my name's John.
I'm Bryce.
I'm JB.
And I am Obi Mike. Guys.
And JB has joined us before. He's a special guest. We really appreciate him coming. There's just so much we want to talk about. We thought we'd have extra people help us about this.
Thanks for having me back on. This is great.
We brought an expert to join us.
Somebody knows what they're talking about because we obviously don't. Today,
just need to sound smart.
Yeah. Today's the big kahuna, the big one. Today is the finale of Maul Shadow Lord, and it has been a ride.
It sure has. So today we're talking about chapters 9 and 10. So we're starting off with chapter 9, Strange Allies. Now this episode works as a setup chapter. It's less about the resolution and more about forcing unlikely alliances while quietly tightening up the trap around everyone. So at its core, it's an uneasy partnership between Maul and the Jedi. The title Strange Allies isn't just descriptive. It highlights a central tension, cooperation built on mutual necessity rather than trust. Every interaction reintroduces this alliance. It reinforces that this alliance is temporary and fragile. Master Daki embodies caution and principle, constantly questioning Maul's motives, while Maul treats a partnership as purely transactional. So what did you guys think about the beginning of this when it starts out?
How did it start? What was the first thing?
Well, the planet's on lockdown, and then she gets this dream, a message, a vision. She thinks it's a vision that she's having.
That was only after we pick up the Dryden boss message. This is what happens first.
Yeah, and that was actually cool to see full Dryden Voss. I thought Dryden Voss was like a season 2 thing, and obviously he is going to be season 2. But I thought it was going to be solely season 2. So it's definitely cool to get more interaction with him. So I was happy for that.
Yeah, I love to see that, we're starting to lay the pieces between where we know Maul from Solo with Dryden, and then the very short little, what we know of the Shadow Collective, and we see him in, Clone Wars season 7 as Maul's telling everyone to kind of go under ground, and so it's going to be great to sort of see what this relationship's like, what it's going to, how it's going to lead us to the events of Solo. But yeah, no, I was very, very happy to see Dryden.
Yeah, I was too. I was just hoping to hear Paul Bettany, but I understand that he's probably too expensive, a little too expensive for the voice acting. But otherwise, I thought it was great.
Was either that or Notman said if he ever shows up in a Star Wars thing again, I'm going to throw a fit.
That's okay. I would like to see him throw a fit. That would be fun too. But yeah, it was good. I had mentioned earlier that we will probably see Dryden Voss. I was hoping to see Kira, so still hoping that we'll see Kira maybe in season 2.
I think it's too soon for Kira in the timeline. I think she's still
too young.
Yeah, she's still running around Han or something right now. I don't think we're quite there yet.
But hopefully in season 2,
we're close.
Growth.
She's on Corellia with Han right now. That's
right.
Yeah, because I think prediction wise, the season 2 is we do see Maul do what he had to do, but I don't see him relinquishing that power to Dryden Voss, which would make sense for Solo. But Kira's definitely either on Coruscant or she is already under Dryden Voss.
Because she does reveal in Solo that she did have some training by Maul.
No, by Dryden Voss. She received her training by Dryden.
Oh, that's correct.
Yep.
That's correct. Now, at its core, this is an uneasy partnership between Maul and the Jedi. So the title Strange Allies isn't just descriptive. It highlights the central tension that the cooperation is built on mutual necessity rather than trust. So they don't at any mention trust each other. They need each other for this to work because they're both under attack. Every interaction is fragile and temporary. Master Daki embodies caution and principle, constantly questioning Maul's motives, while Maul treats the partnership as, oh, I already said that, right?
Yeah.
uh, Maul's manipulation is more subtle here than in the finale. Instead of outright betrayal, he engineers dependency. By planting the vision in Devon's mind, he effectively controls the group's movement without appearing to. So she thinks that it's her vision of what's going to happen in the future, but it's not. It's actually Maul manipulating them. So he's controlling everything. He's like the
Have you seen anything like this before where somebody has given suggests? I guess maybe Palpatine was doing that to Anakin, huh? I guess someone like giving suggestions in their dream or what to do or a future or something like that. This is definitely kind of new to me. Communicating. The closest thing I can think of, maybe that's what Palpatine was doing to Anakin, or maybe that could be Anakin preying on his own fears and preying on himself. I don't know, but that definitely never really set in stone. But I don't know if it was anything like that. You guys, first time?
I've always looked at Anakin's being partly because of especially how strong he is in the Force, and seeing the future is something that he's recklessly dipped into from a young age. And so I think that is him seeing his own fears sort of coming to the surface, mixed in what the Force is sort of projecting. I think there's room. It's obscure enough to wonder how Palpatine is actually, besides just the normal temptations, how he's manipulating Anakin, because he manipulates everything behind the scenes. So I think there's space for that idea. This one, especially because Devon and Maul were forming a little bit of a bond. Maul, I think she's more susceptible to his arguments, just like Ezra was when we see in the Clone Wars. So, and Daki senses that, and he's trying to he's trying to protect her. But Maul is not wrong in many things that he says, and that's what makes the temptation so much more.
Truth, yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, tell the truth. We've got to be stronger to defeat the fight. You can't fight him fighting your own ways. All this stuff. He's not wrong. He's just his motives are what's up.
I always go back to The Exorcist when the priests go back outside when they're beginning the exorcism, but then they take a break and they go outside, and the elder priest tells the younger one, "Remember, he'll mix the truth with lies to confuse you." And I thought that's always what the Sith do. They'll mix the truth with lies to confuse you.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, Maul was telling that.
Mike? Was that what episode was that?
No, I say it in The Exorcist. That's
that's
what the Sith do.
Was it the Shadow Maul?
It's the same thing though, because he's pure evil. So they'll mix the truth with lies. Not that they will never. It's not that they won't tell truths. They absolutely will.
Yeah.
They'll absolutely tell true things, but not because they're honest. They'll do it to manipulate.
Yeah, it's more of a manipulation of the truth than necessarily lying.
Yeah. So it's definitely something I think was new, seeing Maul do that, lead her to there. But I mean, that's red flags from Dalky at that point, right? He's like, he calls out later, but like, how is she getting these things from him? And
he knows too.
They followed, and he was right there. Almost a little too easy story wise, but they followed. He was right there. I was like, oh, okay. So it's definitely
and Daki
cool to
goes
see.
to speak with him. Yeah. Daki says, "Let me handle this."
But at the same time, Maul's again telling the truth. Like, I need to get out. I have a ship to get us out, but I need you. Talking to Lawson. So it's from their point of view, it's like, well, he really does need us. So it is definitely Maul being manipulative again.
Well, the bigger play is that he wants Devon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why Daki's staying around.
Yeah.
And Devon's the only one he wants.
Yep.
He doesn't want anyone else. He doesn't want Lawson. He doesn't want Daki. He doesn't want anyone else. But
he does a good job this whole episode of not really tipping his hand to them. I mean, like his guys know. Okay, what's your name? Rook? Not Rook. Is it Rook?
Rook
They
cast.
know. Yeah, they
Yeah.
know. But every time when they're trying to escape, he tells them all to run or all to go. He doesn't just say, "Tell her and leave the boy" or something. He tells them all to go. So he does a good job of still hiding that to the very end.
Right.
Well, at this point too, like if he changes the status quo, he puts at risk losing Devin
Yeah.
because then Master Docky and Devin would most likely defend against Maul versus like being allied with him.
Mm-hmm. But Lawson's also pretty clever because he tells Two Boots, you know what? He's as the minute he can, he's going to betray us.
Right.
Right. Yep.
So they know that Maul is going to double cross them.
Yeah, it's transactional, and Maul, I think, sees everybody as a tool in a way, a means to an end, and he's going to use them to get what he wants, which is off this planet. And if he's going to sacrifice them, then he's
Right.
going to sacrifice them. So,
I mean, his whole crew is gone now, right?
Yes, his whole crew is gone. I think we
Yeah.
can put to bed the rumor that Rook cast is the Armorer.
yes.
That was
Well,
a rumor?
yes.
I didn't hear that. But yeah, so
It had been
that was-
tossed around, but yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, unless the armor, once she dies, we see a green puff of smoke. I mean, then, yeah, that would be the only way.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I'm curious. I know we're jumping ahead, but I am curious when Mark takes that fall, if that's the moment, or does he, or you know what I mean? Like he takes the fall off the bridge.
He
Like,
does.
is that the moment that we see that he's going to then somebody's going to come by and resurrect him at that point?
Oh shoot! Sorry, got an emergency alarm.
Yeah.
Tornado, earthquake.
No,
yeah,
you'd probably look at
No.
it. I just cancel it.
Yeah, I didn't get one, so it's not an earthquake.
can't be right.
No, I'm in the same state. So thematically, the episode does explore control versus agency, and Devin thinks that she's acting on a vision, right?
Yeah.
But that vision was planted by Maul, and the group believes that they're escaping, but what they're doing is being funneled. And even Dryden Voss's subplot mirrors this, as he seeks to rise in Crimson Dawn through manipulation, not open conflict. So everyone is trying to outmaneuver someone else, and that's the whole
Dryden
thing is a cat and mouse.
I want to say Dryden's pretty bold in saying that. I mean, broadcasting that, saying that. I mean, even amongst his own guys, it's like that's pretty bold. What if your boss finds out? What if Maul tells your boss? That is pretty bold. That Dryden saying that out loud. So it kind of caught me off guard. And maybe
Well, he didn't broadcast it though.
He did it. He did it in a message. I mean, hologram message, whatever. That those can be intercepted, stuff like that.
Yeah, and everybody on that bridge of that ship.
yeah. I mean, he
Yeah.
was saying it to the pilot. He's like, "Yeah, I need Maul to kill him." So, it was very bold of him, and maybe because it's a cartoon, maybe if it was a movie, they wouldn't do that. But that was bold of him, and I thought it was pretty cool.
But I'm thinking those are the ones closest to him because they're the ones that are going to be.
I mean,
they're
you
his
never know.
team, you know,
They could be planted there.
That's true, but they're the ones that he's going to take with him to the top. So
yeah, still pretty bold to say out loud. Kill my boss.
Right. Yeah.
But then you guys are coming with me to the top, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're going to benefit as well.
How do I trust a person that thinks like that though? Yeah, so it's interesting.
Yeah. So the underground journey does reinforce this idea visually as well, because they're literally being funneled. You know, when they go into that underground thing, it's like a funnel in and of itself, structurally. So they're moving through the sewers and these acid pits and these narrow passageways that create a sense of descent, not just physically but morally. So the group is being pushed into darker, more desperate situations where the lines between Jedi and Sith methods begin to blur, especially where Devin and Maul. She joins Maul in the combat, right?
I like it. You know, it's funny because I didn't pick up on that last night. The how the visuals are being used, the funneling, and it just dawned on me now too. I mean, they met at the Armistice Fountain, right? So my mind immediately went to what's the history? What's the history of the planet? And the fountain and the statue was absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
And it shows the depth of the storytelling, but it's also an armistice between, it's the allies. It's an armistice between these two factions now to help each other. So yeah, the setting itself is helping drive the story, while the intensity and the scale just keeps rising and rising as we get the Inquisitors are coming. And I love the cave scene. That was my favorite. That fight, that whole thing inside the cave with the acid pit was maybe my favorite. Definitely of this episode, but wow.
That
it was a really good
crazy.
one, but there was one right after I think was a little better.
Okay, there's maybe one other part.
Well, we're getting to it. Action-wise, the episode does use the Inquisitors as a midpoint threat. Not the ultimate danger, but a reminder of the Empire's reach. So Maul calling them the pawns of Darth Sidious is telling, so it reflects on his own past and foreshadows the arrival of something worse. So that escalation yeah?
He straight tells him, he's like, that the Emperor's going to kill you too, as he's fighting
Yeah,
him.
he does. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty much what you were.
Because it happened to him. Yeah, he's giving them the warning because he knows he was disposed of. They're disposable. And that escalation lands in the final moment with Darth Vader. His entrance reframes everything. The political maneuvering, the fragile alliance, even the escape plan that suddenly felt really small. Structurally, the episode builds tension that's though layered. It's through these layered threats. There's the Empire, and then there's the Inquisitors, and then there's Vader. It leads to Vader. So it just keeps building. It ends on a reveal that promises that the alliance won't just be tested; it's likely going to break. That there's no way that alliance can survive. So, but I want to go back to that pond, because one thing that I really thought was, and John and I talked about it briefly last night because we were at Disneyland at Star Wars night last night.
You don't say.
Yeah, because last night was Star Wars night. May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all.
Revenge of the 5th today.
Yeah, today is Revenge of the 5th.
And then tomorrow's Revenge of the 6th.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the 7th is I Am the 7th.
Oh.
The 7th what?
I Am the 7th. Think about where that movie, what line that movie's from.
I don't know. What is it from?
Revenge of the Sith, when Palpatine says, I am the Senate. I am the 7th. That is what May 7th is.
I like it.
And then May
I
10th.
Like
and then May 10th is It's Treason 10. Another line from the very same conversation.
Oh, nice.
There you go. You got some Star Wars education today. What?
I can celebrate Star Wars all week long.
Yeah, all month. Let's make it all month.
I like it.
Here we are.
So, but when they were
pretty
at
much
that,
is. We got Mando and Grogu coming out.
I know it's around the corner.
That's true. But when they were at the pond and Master Doggy says there's no way we can jump across. It's too big, right? And they need the skiff. And so they were using the skiff, and at the end the skiff gets destroyed, but Maul's the only one left. Did you guys see how he jumps across that pond? And he does jump, but he jumps and then he kicks off the ceiling of the cave to get across. So he shows Devin how he thinks outside the box. So even though she thought there's no way you could jump across the pond, he is yet again showing her how you have to think beyond what you've been trained and think further, that you can't just limit yourself to what you've been trained and taught. You have to think outside those boundaries.
I just wish they kind of highlighted that more because it's so quick. I didn't even notice it. I just like, how do you do that?
Saw it. I saw it. I loved it.
But I mean, I watched it pretty intensely and I missed it. So I kind of wish it was more of a moment. Like she goes, "How did he do that?" Like, and then he even would have said,
I have a really big TV.
That helps.
It would have been nice if he would have said, "You need to think outside your limits" or something like that. But just to reiterate a little bit more, the point they're trying to make with it, that one was kind of hidden. It was a good point. It was kind of hidden. The fact it was too quick, and they didn't really.
Well, plus, if you watch the episode, she was staring when he did that. She was staring intently at him, and I think that all those little clues it leads to the next chapter. How she's, well, we'll get into that when we discuss the next chapter. But it's all building in her mind from the very beginning when he keeps telling her that, you he's giving her little crumbs of how she needs to just grow and go beyond what she's been caged into. Like she's a caged bird, and she needs to
Yeah.
free herself. Well,
Well,
what he's saying
according to him.
according to him, of course.
Mike's sounding a little dark side
Yeah.
sometimes.
I know I am. I'm shocking myself because I'm not a Sith. Although I'm wearing my Sithy stuff today, it's all red and I'm very on theme.
It is an interesting, to look at what a Padawan, especially a Padawan where she was at. She's probably not that far away from the trials, and to lose the entire Jedi Order when it happened, and she's got her master, but what does that mean anymore? What does?
Yeah.
And so the frustration of where she is at, and in this idea of trying to survive, I think Daki and we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I think Daki, I think at least he's probably older. His species probably lives a long time. So I think he could go into a quiet hiding and contemplation, and that would satisfy him. That's not going to satisfy her. And so Maul picks up on that, and he pulls those things. But just to recognize how vulnerable the Padawans that were left behind, or in this feature, either masterless, like Kanan, or even with the master, but you don't have the order anymore. You don't have your future's gone. So what does that mean? And can you adapt?
Yeah, she's frustrated. She has this frustration because she's this close and she's never going to reach that prize,
Mm-hmm.
And even though they're trained not to yearn for these things, at some level, she's got to want that graduation,
Yeah.
She wants to have that.
Especially as someone
the
trying to prove themselves as a younger person. You're trying to prove you can be that. So it's all like
Yeah.
layers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
And even though Daki knows that she's going to eventually, he knows because he's there and he sees the full path. And she doesn't because she hasn't achieved it yet. So he can see her journey, but she can't see it yet because developmentally she's not there yet. And as an educator, I know that as young children, an infant can't stand, right? It can't. Physically, it's unable to. But we know that eventually it will. But the infant can't. It's impossible. But the infant will be frustrated. It's going to cry because it wants to stand and it wants to walk, but it just can't. But we know it will. We know it will because we know the development of children, and they will. But the infant will still cry and have little tantrums. So that's the point that Devon's at right now. She wants to run. She wants to fly. And Maul's taking advantage of that frustration. So, yeah. So in short, I think that this episode is about positioning characters. It's all about positioning. The characters aligning, it's about deceiving and maneuvering, only for a greater force to arrive and render all those strategies inadequate.
Well, really the only thing we need to talk about in this episode is the ending of this episode. They gave us some foreshadowing and said tell him he's headed his way.
Yeah.
And his way
Yeah.
could only mean, like ones we've talked about. I mean, we said maybe Palpatine, but not yet. And then like Vader, and then maybe the Grand Inquisitor. But was like, at this point, Grand Inquisitor has been a little bit of a letdown. So I'm just like, oh my god. He said that, I was like, it kind of has to be Vader at that point. And then they go into the forest, and it's not a single word said. It's just the breath and the silhouette, and you're like, oh my God, they're doing. I can't believe they're actually going. Very, very brave by Lucas, and they went for it. And I'm glad they did. I knew one of my predictions was end. Eventually, Vader was going to hand Maul his butt. I was thinking more series. That's in the season. So I don't know if they're going to meet again or if this one whooping's going to be enough for him. But yeah. But the end of this episode, just him coming out of this smoke right there and hearing the breathing was pretty fantastic. As a fan.
That was a great ending for this chapter. And a great beginning for the next one, too. So that leads right into chapter 8.
Imagine if it
Chapter
would have been
10.
weekly. If we
I'm
had
sorry,
to wait
chapter 10. Chapter 10.
Imagine if we had to wait a week for the next one.
Right? Right? You end with that, and then what?
I would have gone
yeah.
to the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah, they were smart the way that they released these shows.
Yes, yeah, 2 at a time, absolutely.
It felt
Um,
more of like a mini arc within the overarching
Yeah.
arc of everything.
yeah.
Each 2 episodes fit well together.
Agreed.
Yeah. So, what do you guys say? You want to go into Holocron ratings?
No,
for-
we'll do that at the end. We'll just roll
at the
right
end?
in.
Okay, let's go into chapter 10 then. The Dark Lord. So this is the finale, guys. This finale leans heavily into one idea. Overwhelming power reshapes everyone around it, and Darth Vader is that force of gravity. That's the overall thing. Because at the end of chapter 9, we see the Dark Lord of the Sith, and I mean it's Vader, and not a word is spoken. He doesn't have to say
A
anything.
Dark Lord, not the Dark Lord of the Sith. He is a Dark Lord.
Oh, he's the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Palpatine's the Dark Lord. He's still
If you
technically,
say so,
he's
if you
technically
say
his
so.
apprentice.
John.
He's the Jedi equivalent of a Padawan.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say this as somebody who saw Star Wars in 1977. And for those of us who saw it in 77, there was only one Dark Lord of the Sith. It was Vader.
It was.
We
there's
didn't
only
know. We
one.
didn't even know about Sidious until like when he bent the knee and was talking to this like hologram. Like, who the heck
Yeah.
is that
Yeah,
chimp-faced
Empire.
lady? You know, it's like because
When Vader-
it was a woman with a chimp superimposed. I'm like, what the heck is that? You know,
When
like,
Vader told the commander in charge of construction, said the Emperor is not pleased. We're like, who is the Emperor? This is above Vader. That's the Dark Lord. So
No, the Emperor was just like the person in control of like the government.
Vader
Vader
is
was the
dog.
Dark Lord of the
Yeah.
Sith.
Right now he's being his dog. He's doing his bidding.
There's only one Vader. I don't care.
Vader
about
doesn't care about wiping out Maul. He's doing it because Palpatine says so.
Sure, Dan. Why is this chapter called The Dark Lord? The Dark Lord, not a Dark
true.
Lord.
Because he is like
The title of this chapter is called The Dark Lord.
no, it's the would have 2 E's, Mike. Come on.
I know, but I'm emphasizing it for our co-host to understand that it's THE, not A. I know absolutely that it's the in front of a vowel.
Well, I don't think
Yeah.
Palpatine was ever called a lord to begin with.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
the sequel, the prequel, they say stuff like the Dark Lord and the Sith and stuff like that. But I think we're getting off track.
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
how they referred to Maul, was he was a Dark Lord of the Sith.
Yeah.
And we always
Maul
and
was
when-
a Dark Lord of the Sith,
and
but
then when
Vader
Palpatine
is absolutely the Dark Lord of the Sith.
He's one
mean,
of the.
there is a Legends book. A Legends book that says the
That is
Dark
true.
Lord.
The Dark Lord. Yep.
The Dark Lord.
This is a good argument that I don't think is getting resolved today.
Well, this chapter is called The Dark Lord. So
It's true.
this ends the argument. The Dark Lord.
It was funny because when we watched it yesterday, and I haven't gone back to Disney Plus, but all it said was episode 10 in it.
They do that after you watch it, and once you've watched it, they unlock the title.
Oh, did they unlock
Yeah.
the title? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, did they do that just to not reveal?
Yeah, it's like a spoiler thing. I like that. They've done it the last 2 shows. I remember they have. Did they do it on? Was
No, it says the
Mando?
title. It says the title when you once it shows it, then it says the title right after. Because when I watched it, it said it.
Like on the screen, like once you hit play.
Oh, once you hit play, yes.
But when you're in the menu at Disney Plus,
Not in the
it
menu.
says-
Not
yeah.
in the menu. Right.
Yeah.
Not in the menu. But once you hit play, it says it. Mhm. In the episode itself. So Vader's silence is key here. By giving him no dialogue, the episode frames him less as a character and more as an unstoppable presence. So every other character, Maul, the Jedi, the Inquisitors, even the smugglers, reacts to him rather than driving the action. The result is a shift from a typical ensemble conflict to a survival scenario. So he has no dialogue, but
Yeah.
everyone's just trying to survive. he's just the Force.
Maul
Yeah.
does go for him first, but as you can see, rather quickly, it's almost child's play for Vader. He's just
Oh yeah.
he's just
Yeah, he's
messing
one-handed with the lightsaber.
Yeah, they're even
Um,
shooting at him, and 3 lightsabers coming at him. He's just like, it was very impressive. I think they did him very, very right. I know some people think maybe Vader, once he becomes mechanical, it was less than Anakin, but I think this shows how much more he is now that he's really into the dark side.
And keep in mind too that this is Vader only 1 year after Order 66, when he has his rudimentary, when he's still not, he's still like all the stuff isn't working quite right, so everything still kind of hurts, and all the mechanical stuff is still kind of like. So remember, if you read all the books, they're still trying to like fix all his prosthetic stuff. So
That makes
you know,
sense.
all his breathing apparatus doesn't work quite right, and they have to kind of fix everything because he needs a lot of work. He's still healing. So think about somebody who's been like
But
a
this is
severe
also the time
trauma,
he's
burn
the
victim.
strongest, though, because the mechanical part of him hasn't started drawing the Force away. Because that's the one thing with him being so mechanical, he actually loses connection to the Force. He's not as powerful as time goes on. So right now, this is the most powerful Vader's going to be.
That's interesting.
Well, I had also read that once the suit fit him accurately, he was able to work better. So once everything was able to fit correctly, his prosthetics. So it's two-pronged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought Vader is an interesting. He's such an interesting character when you think of him as as having the mechanics that can enhance strength and just make a force of nature, but it also adds a vulnerability when you look at the chest plate that he has to defend now. Does he lose his connection to the Force because he's literally lost parts of the human, the organic structure of him that connects everything that the Force is connected through? So I love that blend of where Anakin and Vader now has to go as he's rediscovering himself. I thought it's interesting that Maul's legs become a vulnerability more, his mechanical legs. People are going after it. It's the first time we've sort of seen that they're kind of almost an Achilles heel in a way for him. He can't perform at the level that we would have seen him in episode 1.
Well, Obi-Wan showed everybody what Maul's weaknesses. Cut off his legs.
That's right. Go low.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I thought it was interesting. We had a debate in here about the no dialogue for Vader, and whether it was a good thing or bad thing. Just sort of thinking about Anakin. Anakin loves to talk when he's fighting, and we've seen Vader in other scenes where he does talk. He does have dialogue. When we see him against Reva in Kenobi or against Kenobi. So we're trying to decide, is it out of character? But I actually like the way you're portrayed is he's not really a character anymore. He's just a force, literally a force of nature, this malign force that this group is now having to deal with. And there's no way that they're going to win.
It's impossible.
From plot armor, but also just the menace that's in front of you. And so not speaking, I think, adds to that. It does go on for a long time that he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because he's on screen a lot more, I thought.
And it makes it more menacing too. Because he doesn't have to say anything. That's how powerful he is.
Well, 2 reasons I think why he talks more in Obi-Wan is because you have Hayden Christensen voicing him. You want to get his voice out. But in this, I think this might be a little beneath Vader. He might be thinking, it's like, you're sending me to kill these things for you. Like, let's just get this over with.
Right,
so
right.
He does not have the connection he does when he's going after Obi-Wan. So that's obviously something he's going to carry a lot more. That's why he would talk more. So this is kind of just like an athlete locking in, just like, let's just get this done with.
Well, I also think too, I think Vader's more there to rid the Jedi than he is so much like gives any like, oh, Maul, you're fighting me, I'm gonna fight you. But I really think like we're still again, year out, we still know Jedi are there. We still know Vader is hunting those Jedi as well. So I think he's there more for the Jedi like extinction than he's there for Maul. Maul just happens to be an obstacle.
Yeah.
Right. Because remember, the thing is that his inquisitors contacted him that they were unable to exterminate these Jedi. So then
Yep.
he's like, you know what?
Right.
If my inquisitors are unable to exterminate these Jedi, then they're too much for my inquisitors. I need to just snuff them out myself. They're too
Yep.
much for them. Let me get there and just do
They
it
get
myself.
some better inquisitors.
Right. Because he knows that they're not they're because these are just like children or ill-equipped, not powerful enough. Because these inquisitors are
Yeah.
always like subpar. They don't have enough force or skills like he would have, because all the Jedi were exterminated, or whoever was left to be inquisitors. And you're reading Rise of the Red Blade, so you'll know more once you've read that, JB, that they could never be to the level of the Jedi. So of course they can't compete with Jedi, and that's why they have to have the spitting blades, and they had to have other tools to
Yep.
be able to compete with them. So he just is there, and he's not going to speak with them because they're not at his level, and he doesn't have any connection with them. So the reason why he spoke to Obi-Wan is he knew Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
The reason
it was
why
the
he speaks with
connection.
the other characters are in storyline. He knows them, so why would he speak with strangers? He doesn't know these strangers. He has no connection with them. There's no reason to speak with them. He doesn't know who they are. It's like Mariah. I don't know her. Why would I speak to her? Right? There's no reason to speak to them. I'm just here to snuff out these rats, step on these cockroaches. I'm not going to speak to them. They're beneath me. Let me just come here to do what I need to do. Yeah. So I'm thinking Vader's silence is key. I already said that, but thematically, this episode contrasts two philosophies: the Jedi restraint versus the Sith abandon. So Master Daki represents discipline and composure, while Maul pushes for aggression and emotional release as the only way to match Vader. The story resolves this tension in a dark way, not by validating the Jedi path, but by showing its limits. Daki dies holding on to those ideals, while Maul survives by discarding loyalty and morality. And that's what this episode shows. And Maul's betrayal is the emotional turning point. His decision to let Daki fall, actually not let Daki fall.
He pushes
Daki into him, which Lawson sees. And I think that's when the animator showed Lawson seeing Maul push.
I don't think that. I think that was a transition. They're nowhere near each other at this point.
You don't think so? I think that Lawson saw that.
No, I think that was a little more foreshadowing that he knew that there was a decision that had to be made, and that was like for him to sacrifice himself. At this point, those are two separate lines. Like
I didn't watch that because I almost thought it was like he saw it too. I thought that was
it
very
looked
odd.
like he saw it. It looked like he saw it.
Yeah, I don't think they're close enough for that visual because that's happening down at the bridge. They're actually up on top of the hill where the actual ship's supposed to be. They've already ascended up there.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rewatch then because they made it seem as if he saw it. So I'm gonna have to rewatch that to pay attention. But it does show that he does push him into him because Daki was like, "We can fight him together," and
that was one of my predictions. Everyone predicted Daki was going to die. That wasn't a question.
Yeah, we knew that.
But I predicted that his death was going to push Devin over. So his death is either going to be by the Empire or by Maul and telling her the Empire did it. So essentially, it could have been kind of both. He's had a part to play with it, but he's not going to say he had anything to do with it.
No, he had to have Vader kill.
Yeah,
he had to have Vader kill.
Yeah,
and I don't think in his condition he could have actually beat Master Daki anyway.
No,
so
I mean he was struggling mightily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was sad to see Master Daki go like that because I grew to like him more and more. That definitely was a little sad to see it though, but like
I cried. I will admit it. I cried.
Oh, it was. It's tragic.
Yeah, Sophia was like, "No, not Master Daki. No, not Master Daki."
I mean, I'm glad he made it all 10 episodes.
I
Because there
I'm
were some death flags
surprised.
early on.
Oh,
know.
for sure.
I
Yeah,
am
they
surprised
definitely
he
kept
made it
the
all the way through
suspense
to the end.
on what was
Yeah.
going to happen with him, but you kind of had a feeling once Vader was there, Vader was going to he
Yeah.
had
yeah.
to.
One of the challenges, and to me, this came out in these 2 episodes a little bit more, partly because we had the 2 Inquisitors. We had the big fight with everybody. Again, there's plot armor. We know the Inquisitors are going to survive because we see them later. And even when Vader comes in, we know you can't defeat Vader.
No.
That means there's this thing is going to go kind of one way. The people that sacrifice are in our group, and we see the sacrifice of Rook and off camera, which is just horrific, actually, just from sounds. And obviously everybody in the cave. And so you kind of knew it was coming just from that, that storytelling element.
Right. And the cross-cutting between the battles, the temple duel versus the forest ambush, emphasizes how chaos spreads across different scales. The intimate lightsaber combat and the large-scale military pressures. Meanwhile, Brander Lawson's sacrifice grounds the episode emotionally, contrasting the Force user's moral ambiguity with a more traditional act of selflessness.
So, is he dead?
Is
Is
who
who
dead?
Lawson.
Yeah, that's a little. You don't know. I'm like, maybe they captured him, possibly. They definitely only hit him in the shoulder. Like all those things zooming by. I'm like, typical stormtrooper, can't hit anything.
He did get hit in the shoulder, though. They showed him get hit in the
Well,
shoulder.
that's what I mean. They only hit him in the shoulder, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, it wasn't enough to stop him from going.
Right. They only showed him get hit in the shoulder.
Yeah,
and that's
then he
why I thought
disappears in the
it
fog.
did look like he saw. It looked like he saw when Maul pushed Daki into Vader. That's what it looked like. So I do need to rewatch that episode.
Yeah,
that
I
chapter
don't.
Again.
If you just look at it from a geographic standpoint, I just don't think it's that. I think that
because they were up on a hill. They were up on a hill. So I'm thinking that I think you would be able to see.
Well, if he did see, then he
would be able to tell Devin.
If he did see,
they were
yes.
able.
Because why would they show that him seeing? That's the thing. If he did see. If he didn't see, he doesn't have to live at all. So you kind of want to make sure he saw. There's no reason to keep him alive, honestly, if he didn't see.
Right.
We don't accept the son story. He is out there. He's on the ship with her. He's going to definitely latch on to Devin. He's going to be the opposite of Maul, because Maul's going to teach you about aggressive, and he's going to be there probably saying, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you shouldn't. He's not going to have the wisdom, obviously, as a Daki, but he is going to be something that tries to pull her back, because she's going full dark side and he's there. It's going to get awkward. Like, she's probably just going to kill him. So it's going to have to be, or they got to get rid of him. But so his purpose there is going to be to help Strasser. She can't become a Sith or even full dark side user. I mean, it would really kind of be hard for the storyline to fit a new whole dark side user in there, but I guess they could. But yeah, so I think his role is very important still. What's the kid's name? Young Lost is what I call him.
Riley.
Yeah.
Riley. Yeah, I think, my kind of hope is that there's going to be tension in that. And I kind of hope that because I definitely see Devin going down a dark path. A big part of the story of this season 2 is Devin and Maul and her going down a path. And I think there's going to be a question of, can she pull herself out? What's her fate? And there's a lot of open space to write that. My hope is kind of like Two Boots and Riley are able to escape from it, and then they have their own. Maybe we have a spin-off show with the two of them, but maybe they can get part of the rebellion. Anyway, I mean, we're there's a lot of space for them in the galaxy to go to, but
did they go back to his mom?
Well, because Lawson
says,
told him, take him to mom.
That surprised me.
You think Crimson Dawn gonna let him go?
Right.
Well, Two Boots is going. He's a rule follower to a T. So Two Boots will do whatever he can to follow that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he will.
That's a good point.
But is the kid gonna want to go back to his mom? Because guess what? His mom works for the Empire that just wiped out his home, killed his
Yeah,
dad.
that's a whole different element there too.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's
there's
not
an
gonna,
interesting dynamic coming.
I
Yep.
do believe
gonna
we'll get
work.
kind of that story flushed out
Mhm.
in season 2 because I think Two Boots and
Yeah.
Riley probably find a way to escape.
But
Escape
regardless,
and connect.
Tubus will do whatever he can to get Riley
I'd agree
to
with
his
that. Yeah.
mom. Yeah. And the closing thing that I have here in my notes is that by the end of this chapter, the victory is hollow. Vader isn't defeated. No, he's just delayed, and the Jedi are gone.
You know what though? Vader has to go tell Palpatine Maul got away. That's
No, because Vader
No,
doesn't
because
tell.
I don't think that's
Vader
why he
doesn't
was
tell
there.
Palpatine. I don't think Palpatine knows anything because
You
Vader's in
think
charge.
that wasn't Palpatine in the hood?
No, that was Vader.
No, that was a
That
hood.
was Vader in
That
the
wasn't
hood.
Vader. That was a hood. Go watch it again. That's cloth.
Eh,
That's 100% cloth.
No, I because
You don't think Palpatine cares where Vader and several of his
I don't think he cares about the Inquisitors at all because
I think he cares
the
what Vader is.
Inquisitors report
Those are all
directly to Darth
Vaders.
Vader.
Yeah, the
The
Inquisitors
fact,
are Vaders.
so the whole thing though about why I forget the name of the town got in trouble is because they didn't report Maul. You think it gets up
Janix.
to Vader and it stops? It's up to Palpatine now. Palpatine knows about this. It's not going to just stop at Vader's information. Palpatine knows about it. So Vader has gone off. And now he's got to go report back to Palpatine that to the real Dark Lord that the dog killed.
Vader doesn't tell Palpatine everything. Don't you know that by now?
Yeah,
He doesn't
I killed him.
Palpatine
He's not going to say
everything.
that. He's just going to be like, he got away.
Okay, John, you keep believing what you think. You believe. Vader doesn't tell Palpatine everything.
Well, he knows he's on a mission.
Very
He's gotta
true.
Tell him something.
He tells him something.
I'm
He
still
doesn't tell him
looking.
everything.
Oh, where's Murak?
Marak's still around. He
He fell off.
He
the building.
fell.
he fell.
He found the very, very high pit that Star Wars likes to put in places during big battles.
Yeah.
I did love how beautiful the jungle was and the temple. I mean, just the ruins.
Yeah.
So what a different setting from what we had seen in this entire series, right? We're so used to the we'll call it the film noir of the city and the underground, and we literally go through the cave and we come up in the last
Indiana
episode.
Jones.
In this
The
guy,
jungle.
it had an indie feel to it, right? It was such a neat and change of scenery, literally.
I really enjoyed that part. I really liked it. Thought the
Yeah.
river of acid is kind of odd that it exists.
Well, they
Well,
said what
it's-
happened was that they were illegally dumping all there. And
Dumping
Tube was
all
like,
the
I'm going to
toxins.
report this immediately.
That was funny. The little
like,
piece
"Oh,
of humor
maybe
in that
not."
entire thing. Yeah, maybe that's not a priority anymore.
Yeah, he's funny.
All
What's
right.
interesting with Palpatine is this is early, so he's having to deal with the Senate. I mean, a lot of his time is trying to wrangle because the Senate's still around. It's not going to be around for a long
Probably-
time.
It's still around.
Funding and plans for the Death
yeah.
Star.
It doesn't become fully dissolved until Episode 4.
To 4,
Right.
right? So
Right.
he's working, he's maneuvering.
That's 20 years later or 19,
Yeah, that's
19 years
that's
later.
Tarkin that delivers that message.
Mhm. So
So,
he's
yep.
still got a lot of work ahead
Probably
of him.
working on a Death Star right now, or at least the early stages.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the way the Episode 3
He
ends, right? With
Does
the
not want
beginning
Maul
frame.
poking around that. He's gonna be so mad at Vader.
Oh boy.
All right, final thoughts. Anything else you guys want to talk about, mention, anything like that? Any final thoughts?
The artwork in the entire I think the art style and everything, I think it was really, really good. I actually really liked how they did the painted backgrounds, which was something a little bit different than we've normally seen in like the animation. So that was really cool, like how they how they did that, and it kind of matched like the the animation style as well. So I thought that was really cool throughout the whole series. It was very noticeable.
The art I mentioned last week, I think, wasn't my cup of tea. They definitely went for it. I kind of fell out of it when you cut too many close-ups of Maul and you just see paint missing.
Mm.
So that kind of filled me out. But it is a unique art style, and some people love it, some people don't. Me, I'm probably more of the I'd rather the old art style, but definitely they went for it. They definitely unique art style.
Yeah.
Wanted to mention music. Music was great. Love some of the indie music they threw in. I think it was like in episode 5 or something like that. That was really fun. But music the whole time was really good. It really drove the mood. The last thing I wanted to say is probably one of the greatest endings of most Star Wars. Honestly, the Vader coming out and fighting. Like, it's like a dream thing for fans, like seeing Vader versus Maul. They really took a swing on it, and I think they did a fantastic job on it, and I absolutely loved it. And so it's one of the best, definitely, and when it comes to animated endings for me in the Star Wars show. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I absolutely loved that part.
Yeah, I would definitely echo. I enjoyed the paint style, but I was looking for that because it gave us that dark film noir, especially when we were in the city. Those, it wasn't crystal clear. The lines were blurry. I liked it. I will echo. I like the fact that you point out the music, because I think the music gave a lot of different nods and echoes to other parts of Star Wars. I definitely heard some episode 3 notes and some themes in these couple episodes, but we've seen them. I think you can pick up different things, and that connected this series, which in some ways is standalone. You could watch it. I think it could be your gateway to Star Wars. But I think as a fan, having those other pieces come in, I think just gives it much more depth. And so,
Yeah, I think that's the brilliant thing, JB, about the music itself. Like, and and I know that Filoni will only use Kevin Kiner, but it's nice that you hear some of the John Williams stuffs where it's even though it's a separate series, but there's familiarity with some of the music, and you kind of understand, like, oh, okay, like this is probably Vader because I'm starting to hear that either the Revenge of the Sith, like
The
Vader
sampling.
music, or the Imperial
Yeah.
March kind of thing.
I think the sampling is genius for the music. Yeah, I think you need it. You need it to keep it in line with the rest of Star Wars. It stays within the Star Wars universe, like connection, so it is part of the whole Star Wars. It feels all connected. But in terms of the artwork, I thought the art was amazing. I thought it was beautiful. It was like a Monet. That's how I saw it. Like, it was, the art
impressionism.
was beautiful. The impressionism was gorgeous. I thought it was beautiful, especially some of it when the background, it did look like impressionist Monet, where it would look like the it just looked like watercolors. It was just beautiful. So I took it as, this is not, it's art, and so I thought it was really beautiful. And we had never seen lightsaber battles with the water, like with the waterfalls, and it was just so different, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And I thought Maul, these episodes showed that he's not just a survivor but a corrupter, and he's not there to defeat the Jedi ideology outright, but he's there to put others in the situations where it fails them. So I really enjoyed this storyline. And meanwhile, the non-force sensitive characters have a different kind of truth, and he's there to corrupt everybody. And he's an equal opportunity abuser. And I love that about him. Brander Lawson's sacrifice contrasts so sharply with the force users' shifting morality. And by the end, there was no real victory. There were only outcomes. The Jedi are gone. The group is fractured. Maul leaves not just alive but empowered with a new apprentice, and the future is shaped now by revenge. Vader remains untouched by it all. He is an arrival in the story, but he's a force that defines the limits of everyone else. And my final takeaway is that these episodes aren't about who wins; they're about who changes and at what cost. And that the answer is bleak. And the ones who hold on to their principles will fall, and the ones who bend or break and move forward just further into darkness. And that's what's happening with Maul Shadow Lord.
Yeah, faith is tested completely, and most of it it's shattered, and what you believed are truths are gone.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
So-
thing we're waiting for. Where's Mike's holocron review?
My holocrons for the entire 10 episodes?
Let's do.
Yeah, let's do all 10. All 10 because it's over.
All 10. All right.
Do this what just came out, and then all 10.
No, all 10.
No, I'll just do all 10. I raised mine to a 5. Just I'm going to start it off.
For
5.
all 10 episodes, I'm going to give it a great holocron rating. I give it a great holocron rating.
The
for
great
all 10.
holocron. That
what I
feels
give
like
it.
cheap.
That's at least a 10 holocron.
Yeah,
Holocron.
I give it a great holocron rating, John. That's what I give it. I give Maul Shadow Lord a great holocron
You
rating.
just give it one holocron rating?
A great holocron rating.
One great holocron rating?
Yeah, that's all 5 for the series.
Yeah, it's. I think I'm about to agree and say it's a 5. I mean, it's hard. There's a couple things that you could nitpick at it, but it's a complete story, and I'm so thankful that there's a season 2. And
Yeah, absolutely.
it's set up well for it. I mean, I think we could be honest and say that there was always going to be a season 2. I don't think they wrote this as a 10 episode one. We could keep going. I mean, it clearly ended with more story to go. And but at the same time, you have a beginning, you have a middle, and each episode builds on itself, and the intensity and the story element just goes and goes and goes.
Honestly, if it was just for like Maul and Vader storyline, you could end it this way because he's going to go join. Was it the Black Sun or what?
He's going to Crimson Dawn.
Yeah,
Yep.
we could end it there, but we have all these other characters.
But we have these other characters, which are now.
Devin can't end it right there. It's a big one right there. So, all right.
Yeah. 5
right.
holocrons. This great holocron. That's what I give it.
I'm gonna give it 4.75.
John,
good.
You shut your filthy mouth. You don't count. I'm gonna mute him.
I'm
muting
give the
you, John.
episode a 5, but you didn't let me give the episode a 5. So
4.75 is like a 5.5 from John.
John is muted. He is forever now muted. This series gets a great holocron, which means 5 from all of us. John is now muted. So please follow us on TikTok at Virtual Cantina and like the VCN Star Wars Celebration page. Put that TikTok back on there. So
You're not gonna let me defend it? All right.
Wow.
Oh, did I mute you, John?
I unmuted him.
You get pushed into the lava pit,
Right.
the acid pit from this crew.
I got an 8-year-old waiting on me.
I gotta pay some bills. So, all right. Bunta Eva. Yeah, Bunta E special edition. Yeah. Texas 2 Electric Boogaloo, Friday, August 7th, 2026. VIP tickets are already sold out.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, over half the regular tickets are sold out. So if you want to go have a great time, see a bunch of us, go look at videos from before. It had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great.
Special thanks to the sponsors of this event. As you can see here, you can find out more of them on our website. And special thanks to the headline sponsor, NH LASIK Associates. They are a headline sponsor for this event, and special thanks to them. Some of our guests. This can change constantly, so this isn't set in stone. People get added, people get moved, things happen because it's still a ways out, but pretty a solid list. Definitely excited to see a lot of these people.
Yeah, Bonnie's a huge catch there.
Yeah, there's the QR code if you want to check that out. Or you can go straight to our website, virtualcantinanetwork.com. And there you go, Mike. You can start reading.
Yeah, be sure you're following us on our new website, www.virtualcantinanetwork.com, as well as YouTube at Virtual Cantina Network, on Instagram at virtual.cantina on Twitter at Virtual Cantina Network. I'm sorry, at Cantina Virtual, on Twitch at Virtual Cantina Network, and on TikTok at Virtual Cantina. and like the VCN Star Wars Celebration Los Angeles 2027 Facebook group page.
JB, thank you for putting up with us. I apologize for Mike. He doesn't quite get it.
There's not
I
enough
apologize.
apologies for Mike.
I apologize for
You apologize for
somebody's
nothing.
filthy mouth giving it 4.7 holocrons when it clearly deserves 5 holocrons and nothing
You
less.
didn't let me explain why. It had to be a
No
mystery.
explanation.
When
5
we do next
holocrons.
season.
5 holocrons. I'm going to slice and dice you in half.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and listening to our gargle for the last hour.
Yes. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.
We are all the Republic.
Hey, I'm actor Chris Bartlett from The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you're watching Virtual Cantina Network.